Namaste, my dear friends. In the earlier session, we referred by discussing elaborately supply of services by government by local authority, which is not covered under the Article 243G nor covered under the 243W of the Constitution of India, and also they have not provided services acting as a public authorities. In such case, my dear friends, it is taxable supply of services if it is not specifically qualified from exemption. In this regard, we come across in the last class, government provides the services, local authority provides services to a business entity whose aggregate turnover in the preceding financial year not exceeded the threshold limit for registration, then obviously such services are exempted. Likewise, we referred government to government, local authority to local authority, or vice versa, which is also be exempted provided it should not be a forward charge. And earlier also I referred the services provided to business entity where the aggregate turnover of the preceding financial year of the business entity not exceeding threshold limit for registration is exempted provided it should not be a forward charge. That is important. If it is a forward charge, that comes into picture, supplier being a government, supplier being a local authority, they are only liable to pay GST irrespective of the recipient status, which are none other than the following supply of services. 1. Supplied by Indian Postal Department or the Indian Railways, forward charge. Recipient immaterial status, supplier liable to pay GST unless specifically exempted in the hands of the supplier. 2. Supplied by the government or local authority, service in relation to aircraft or vessel within the port or airport or outside the port or airport as the case may be, taxable, forward charge. Third category, transportation of goods or passengers, supply provided by government local authority will attract GST unless specifically exempted in the hands of the supplier. The fourth one, government provide the services, local authority provide the services to uninsured person. In that case, it is forward charge. However, if the government, when I say it should be excluded or except Indian Railways as well as the Indian Postal Department, meaning thereby Indian Postal Department or Indian Railways provide the services of letting out of human property for commercial purposes to any person, forward charge only. Other than the Indian Railways, other than the Indian Postal Department, being a government, provide the services of letting out of human property for commercial purposes to an uninsured person, that is forward charge. And also we referred supply of service by the government or local authority value is less than equal to rupees 5,000 is exempted if it is in a financial year not exceeding 5,000 in case of continuous supply of service also be exempted. And like that, allotment of spectrum on natural resources. Allotment of spectrum, not natural resources, allotment of spectrum is allotted prior to 1st April 2016, which is now also exempted if the installments are due now. Further, allotment of natural resources to an individual farmer, assignment of natural resources for cultivation, qualify from or plant or rearing of all type of animals except horses, qualify for exemption. Like that, in the last class, so far we refer, my dear friends. If you have any doubt, please ask me. Have any doubt, please ask me. From the earlier session, any doubt? If you have no doubt, we'll start continuation from here now. So, I hope up to this what we covered, there won't be any much doubt. I am proceeding further. Exempted supply of services where supplied by government or local authority, supplied by government or local authority, which I am presenting one by one here as follows, my dear friends. Further, Of course, we too referred in the last class by highlighting non-performance of a contract, tolerating for non-performance of a contract also we come across. Further, supplied by government or local authority services by way of assignment of right to use natural resources where such right to use was assigned prior to 1st April 2016. Sir, it is similar to assignment of spectrum by telecom ministry to corporates prior to 1st April 2016. Since that is not natural resources, we separately referred allotment of spectrum. License allotted prior to 1st April 2016. Similar to that, allotment of natural resources, namely coal, extraction of coal, extraction of minerals or granites, oil. This entire license is owned by government, allotted to the business entity. License fees collected by allotting it prior to 1st April 2016 is exempted. Now, how now it is relevant means, suppose the recipient of that particular license made an agreement with the government. You are asking to pay 1,000 crores for license extracting of minerals. I will pay, sir, but in installments over a period of 10 years I will pay. Government accepted. In that case, allotment of license prior to 1st April 2016, whose installment due happens to happen even in this year 23-24, also be exempted, because the license was allotted prior to 1st April 2016. Similar concept what we understood for the allotment of spectrum to telecom operators prior to 1st April 2016, same here also. That time there was no service tax. From 1st April 2016, service tax introduced. From 1/7/2017, GST introduced. In that case, such allotments prior to 1st April 2016, there was no service tax. Even after GST, there is no GST on such allotments. The same concept. Further, my dear friends, it should be what we can call here installment due, but it should not be periodical payment. Installment due different from periodical payment. You are aware of that? Installment due is what? Allowed to pay upfront, but made an agreement to pay in installments, which is different from periodical payment. Periodical payment is what? Use and pay. Each year, use and pay. Installments different from periodical payment. Your BSNL bill, periodical payment. If you not use, not required to pay. Here, upfront allowed to pay, but paying in installments only qualify exemption. License allotted prior to 1st April 2016, whose installment due happens to happen even after the GST introduction, is exempted. Installment due only exempted. They may put in a different manner periodical payment, which is not exempted. For a periodical payment, not facilitated to pay upfront. Upfront not allowed to pay, not possible to pay. How it is possible? BSNL connection I taken, upfront to pay and relax, not to pay furthermore for lifetime. Sorry, it is not so. Use and pay is called periodical payment. For a periodical payment of license fee, that periodical payment happens to happen after 1/7/2017, will enter the GST. Installment due only, not enter GST. Further, my dear friends, merchant overtime charges also qualify from exemption. What do you mean by merchant overtime charges? As an importer, I imported sophisticated machineries which are capable to work with artificial intelligence, which I imported from Thailand. That machinery very urgently required for my production use. Unfortunate, the date on which this particular machinery landed at Chennai port, for example, is on festival, holiday. Next day, Sunday. 2 days delay may be going to take place. I need to clear immediately from the customs. When I approach government department, they said, don't worry, Mr. Importer. If you pay extra charges, we will appoint customs officer for your case to expedite of clearances of your cargo. You have to pay extra charges. As a result, I paid the extra payment of fees. Government appointed the customs officer on special duty in addition to their normal timing. If there is a case which is facilitated me to clear the cargo immediately. In such cases, what charges charged by the government is called as merchant overtime charges. In such case, such merchant overtime charges received by the government, namely supplier is the government, in that case absolutely exempted from the payment of the GST. Of course, the last point, but here Indian Postal Department provide these services by way of postcard, inland letter, book post and ordinary post. Book post and all, ordinary post, where there is a bunch of paper can be sent. The weight of that particular book post or ordinary post envelope weight should be less than 10 grams. If so, Indian Postal Department provide the services qualify from exemption. Apart from that, we too have furthermore exemptions which is recently added by way of amended provision here. From 20th October 2023, new entry 3 capital B inserted where under the notification number 12/2017 of central tax, which is providing exempted supply of services list. The following also be exempted if services provided to whom? To governmental authority. Services provided to governmental authority by way of water supply, public health, sanitation conservancy, solid waste management and slum improvement and upgradation services. Generally refer, my dear, these and all belongs to Article 243G or Article 243W nature of services. But it is provided to government, to local authority, any person provided is qualified exemption already we referred. If it is a governmental authority, provide these services exempted. If we provided to governmental authority, it was not exempted earlier. Therefore, as you are aware of that, governmental authority different from government. Government authority means an authority or an establishment established by passing an act in the parliament or in the state legislative assembly, or an establishment or the institution in which not less than 90% of equity shares held by the central government, state government, or the institution in which government held not less than 90% of equity shares, and such establishment and institution is meeting the objectives of Article 243G or Article 243W of the Constitution of India. Such an institution is called as governmental authority. If any person provides the services to such government authority, water supply nature, public health, sanitation conservancy, solid waste management services, and slum improvement and upgradation services. Example, one example, Tamil Nadu Slum Clearances Board. Tamil Nadu Slum Clearances Board is a government authority. That board appointed me. My name is Raman, providing water supply. Now, I supply the water supply to Tamil Nadu Slum Clearance Board, and as per their direction, I provide the water supply to various streets where the Pakka building has been constructed for the low poverty people under the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana. There is so much of houses has been constructed, and I am providing water supply, and I am raising the bill to whom? Not to local authority, to slum clearances corporation, for example. In that case, it is a governmental authority. My supply absolutely qualify from exemption. Like that, if I provide public health services, public health includes what we can call hospital services, the nursing home services, sanitation conservancy services, solid waste management, as well as slum improvement and upgradation services. If I provided to government authority, it is qualified from exemption under GST from 20th October 2023 onwards. Is an amended provision one can expect in the coming exam of May 2024 onwards. Furthermore, exemptions we have, my dear sir. What are those exemptions? Services supplied by government to their undertakings or public sector undertakings by way of granting or guaranteeing the loan taken by such undertakings or public sector undertakings from the financial institutions. What is this? How we should consider this particular point from the purview of the exemption? What is it is? Government providing to their undertakings guarantee for the financial assistance obtained by those public sector undertakings from the others. What do you mean this? Simple example, my dear sir. When you say, in the given case, Tamil Nadu Electricity Board, TNEB, is one of the public sector undertaking, PSU, government undertaking, Tamil Nadu government. They want to obtain the loan, let us say, from the World Bank. They want to obtain the loan. Almost all 1,000 crores loan they want to obtain, for which World Bank asking who will be guarantee for the given loan. Ask the World Bank to Tamil Nadu Electricity Board. They immediately approach, don't worry sir, I will bring the guarantee for you. They approach Tamil Nadu government, sir, could you please provide the guarantee for our loan, because we want to install various power stations to the loop and corner of the villages of Tamil Nadu. Then Tamil Nadu government says, okay, even guarantee I will provide. Tamil Nadu government says, hey Mr. World Bank, I am a guarantor. If Tamil Nadu Electricity Board not going to repay your money, I will repay. So here guarantee provided for the loan given by World Bank to public sector undertaking by Tamil Nadu government. Sorry. Now in the given scenario, what happened? Tamil Nadu government says, Tamil Nadu Electricity Board, for you I have given the guarantee, For doing so, what is the benefit you are going to give to the government? Then the Tamil Nadu Electricity Board said that, don't worry sir, I am going to pay to you some commission for the giving the guarantee. Rupees, let us say 1 crore, 1 crore I am going to pay to you some commission. So here Tamil Nadu government supplier for giving the guarantee of the loan obtained by the public sector undertaking, they are the recipient. Now this 1 crore commission is a consideration which is exempted under the GST in the hands of the supplier, exempted, not liable to pay GST. Now please come back, my dear friends. Referring further here, furthermore referring here, exemptions. Services provided to government, service provided to government under any training program for which 75% or more of the total expenditure is borne by the government, then only exempted. If the government is not going to borne the expenditure 75% above, then that is qualified taxation, not exempted. That means if I am providing service to government, what type of service I am providing? Training programs. Rafi Academy undertaken to provide GST practitioner course on behalf of the central government. I have undertaken to provide the GST practitioner course under the government training program. Self-employment skill purpose, government conducting or training in the GST matters, GST practitioners training, Rafi Academy providing. The total expenditure for Rafi Academy came for that year, for example, for the training program is considered, almost all it is 10 lakh rupees. Government is reimbursing, government is bearing 8 lakh rupees out of my 10 lakhs of expenditure of training. Government is providing me 8 lakh rupees. 8 lakh rupees on 10 lakhs, 80%, meaning thereby more than 75%. Therefore, my entire supply of services of 10 lakhs which I provided, that is, I collected the fees from the various participants under the program of training program of government, nominal value I collected. Actually, my charges per student rupees 5,000. I am collecting from the student only 50 rupees. 50 rupees where 5,000 rupees is there, because the amount is going to borne by the government. That's why I am collecting only 50 rupees from the student. In that case, under training program, if I provide the services and government is bearing 75% above of my expenditure, the entire my supply qualify for exemption. Entire supply now came here 10 lakhs. Entire 10 lakhs is exempted because 80% of the 10 lakhs is bearing by government, namely more than equal to 75% of my expenditure, therefore exempted. Suppose government is bearing only rupees 6 lakhs. That means what? Out of my 10 lakhs of expenditure, 6 lakhs means what? Percentage? Only 60%. If that is the case, below 75%, my entire supply of 10 lakhs will attract GST because it is not qualified under exemption. One practical manner can be understand this point is as follows, my dear friends. In the given case, a case I am bringing here for your kind consideration is as follows. Validate the following statement. The government of Tamil Nadu granted the aid of 16 lakh to Nicholas Educational and Research Institute for providing training in automotive service technician 2 and 3 wheelers for the year 2022-23 under the Pradhan Mantri Kushal Vikas Yojana is taxable supply of service under the GST. Total expenditure for providing training is 20 lakhs. 20 lakhs. How much government is bearing? 16 lakhs. So, 16 lakhs divided by 20 lakhs multiplied by 100 is what percentage? Quickly, fast. How much? 80%, which is more than or equal to 75%. Therefore, they are saying here is a taxable supply. I have to answer, validate the following statement. I have to answer saying that the given statement is invalid. Not to say false, please, my dear, understand. Don't say false. Don't say incorrect. What the examiner asking, in the same direction you have to reply, is the way of presentation. Sir, your client is coming to a place and he's speaking with you in mother tongue, beautiful language of Tamil. You also from Tamil, you well know Tamil. Your client is speaking with Tamil. You are a chartered accountant. Just because of a chartered accountant, if you go and speak with him in reply in English, your client feel uncomfortable. Sir, you are Tamilian. You know very much Tamil. I am also Tamilian. I know very much Tamil. As a client, I came and expressing my all problems to you in my mother tongue Tamil. You replying the solution English, then you want me to go and learn the English and come to your place to get your services? How uncomfortable it is. Next time you won't willing to come to your place. Try to understand. You have to speak in the same language. Try to speak, even if you do not know Tamil, learn the Tamil and speak with the, because to meet the requirement of the client, you have to attach with the client, nearest to the client. You should close with the client as is a family member. There are auditors, forefathers created great emporium. Emporium is created. Chartered accountant means a separate respect. Reason, they have acted and reacted very close to the client as a helping hand. So my point here also, examiner also, validate the following statement. How the student writing incorrect? Incorrect may be correct, but not suitably correct. Therefore, we have to say that given statement, validate the given statement. The statement says it is taxable supply. We know is not a correct statement. Therefore, the given statement is invalid. Full stop. Since expenditure borne by the government 75% above of total expenditure. Hence, it is covered under the exempted supply of services. Enough. Is a presentation. Try to understand, inculcate. Now, please come back. See, I too given. How I presented, see, the given statement is invalid. Nowhere I said incorrect. Nowhere I said false. Now, please come back. Furthermore, exemptions. Government entity to government, local authority, against consideration in the form of grant, government entity. I can say that ICAI, government entity, an act enacted in the parliament or state legislative assembly, as the case may be. Here it is Act of the Parliament 1949. But they are not going to meet the objectives of Article 243G or Article 243W of the Constitution of India. That's why we call government entity. Such government entity provide the services to government, to local authority, against consideration in the form of grant. Assume a scenario. ICAI supplied services in relation to audit of election ID cards. 2. Election Commission. I will say that to Election Commission of India. Election Commission of India is also independent, autonomous, independent body, but it is called as not government entity. Election Commission of India is a government. How can you say government, sir? Dear friends, Election Commission of India, who will be auditor to Election Commission of India? Auditor is C&AG. C&AG is auditor. Who is the auditor for Income Tax Department? C&AG. Not you being a chartered accountant is the auditor. Who is the auditor for the GST Department? Is the C&AG, Comptroller and Auditor of India. So, generally, if the audit is applicable to the institution, is a C&AG, central or state level, we call the government, the department. Therefore, here is government. In that given case, this particular government entity provided services to Election Commission of India, where in the given case, grant is given for doing that services. Grant is given by Central Government of India. For example, such a grant received and provide the services. That grant is exempted in the hands of the supplier of service, namely government entity. In our given example, ICA fees, which is received as a grant, absolutely free from GST. Further, fair price shop, namely what? Government supplying goods through ration shops, public distribution system, where the ration shop wala supply the goods on behalf of the central government, state government, as the case may be, and in the commission absolutely exempted. Whatever may be the goods he supplied, kerosene, he may supply ration through ration shop, the wheat, pulses, sugar, rice, flour, dal, moong, tor, edible oil, etc. Whatever provided through public distribution system, for which commission charged by the ration shop wala. Supplier of service is the ration shop, agent, recipient of service, state government, central government. Absolutely exempted that commission in the hands of the ration shop person. So the maximum area of coverages of exempted supplies with regard to government sector, which includes central government, state government, UED or further local authority, is concluded. Now, before entering into the another sector, there are some circulars are there in the recent past issued by the CBIC, which is very important from the examination point of view. I am bringing here one by one is as follows. Now, we said here sanitation and conservancy services. Sanitation conservancy services. If such services provided to army and other central state government department, GST applicable. What type of sanitation conservancy here you are talking? look here. Here where the human being waste, government also recommending and promoting to construct toilets within the premises of their own buildings. Then from that dunk is collected in a particular vehicle and moving to some other place. It is recycling, extracting some wastewater or extracting some water. That water is further maybe going to use for irrigation purpose, and furthermore the husk dust which is further carrying to a place for plantation or for further, thereby the ecological effects will be maintained, geographical things will be maintained in a holistic manner to bring clean and green concept, and water conservancy also takes place. Water required for the cultivation, from that further recycled and supplied. What is not possible to recycle, that can be further carried out and lay into on the land to strengthen the land. It is compost. So this is another process. This process, which is one of the sanitation and conservancy nature service, which is offered to whom? Army, offered to whom? The other government departments. In that case, my dear friends, is it qualify exemption? This has been addressed here. It has been clarified that services are provided by any person to Indian Army, that is Indian Army procured means recipient, or any other government of ministry, that means supplied by any person to government. So government procuring these services, or department as the case may be, which does not perform any function listed in the 11th as well as 12th schedule of the Constitution in the manner as a local authority does for the general public, the same are not eligible for exemption under the serial number 3 and 3A of this particular notification. Sanitation and conservancy services offered by any person to government, namely to Army department or central government, state government, any other departments, it is not going to fulfill the criteria of Article 243G or Article 243W. Resultantly, such services of sanitation conservancy absolutely taxable is the meaning. When this has been issued, it is issued on 28th June. This notification when issued means 3rd August 2022 issued this particular circular. But here from 20th October 2023 a new entry has been inserted here. Services provided to governmental authority. Service provided to governmental authority. Sanitation conservancy services, which is specifically exempted. It is entry number 3 capital B. When that circular was issued, this entry was not there. Now, coming to the point here, sir, sanitation conservancy services provided to governmental authority, taxable or exempted? It is exempted. Now, from the exam of May 2024 onwards. Same thing, governmental provided to governmental authority itself is exempted if it is provided to government, to local authority, or provided to what we can call here any other government department, provided to government department, which is much more than the governmental authority, is qualified from exemption or not. Here, the clarification given by the CBSE is it is not covering under the serial number 3 and 3A. But that time this particular notification, this particular amended entry number 3 capital was not there, therefore they said 2 points only. If 3B is there, that might have been said the 3B also here, not covered. So, resultantly, services supplied to government, to local authority by any person in relation to sanitation conservancy and conservancy services not covered entry number 3 and 3A, and 3B also we say not covered 3B. Reason, services supplied to governmental authority. If services supplied to government, to local authority, sanitation and conservancy is taxable. Same is provided to governmental authority is exempted. Maybe there may be going to come amendment. No, for government also is exempted. If that amendment comes, this circular become redundant that time. Sanitation conservancy supply of services supplied to army and other central state governments, which is government. What the circular says that it is not as such the supply of service by local authority. Nature of service is not there. Therefore, it is not going to cover under the Article 243G nor cover under the Article 243W. This is what they said. 11th schedule and 12th schedule of the Constitution is not covering. Therefore, what is the situation now? Sanitation conservancy services supplied to governmental authority exempted from 20th October 2023 onwards. Same sanitation conservancy services provided to government department is taxable. And you have to say it is not covering under the entry number 3A, or you have to say that it is not going to meet the objectives of the Article 243G or Article 240W of the Constitution. Therefore, it is taxable, you have to say. Further, one more point here. Applicability of the GST on accommodation services supplied by Air Force mess to its personnel. Air Force mess to its personnel. What type of services? Accommodation services. Dear friends, government provide any services, local authority provide any services which is not a forward charge and also be not a reverse charge, qualify from exemption. When it is a reverse charge, means it is basically taxable supply, not covered under forward charge, and supply to whom? To a business entity whose aggregate turnover in the preceding financial year exceeded the threshold limit for registration. Such cases, supplier is a government, supplier is a local authority, which is not a forward charge, nowhere qualify exemption, reverse charge. Now, if central government, state government, or unitary as a whole government provide the services, or local authority provide the services to a person other than business entity, which is absolutely not forward charge, then it cannot be reverse charge also. As a result, not a forward charge, not a reverse charge, absolutely qualify from exemption under the entry number 6 of notification number 12/2017 of the central tax. Government provide the services, locality provide the services, which is not a forward charge. Not a reverse charge. Why not a reverse charge? It is not provided to business entity. Therefore, in that case, provided to a person other than business entity, who is not a business entity, unregistered individual. Now come to this. Air Force mess run by Air Force, central government. What they provide these services? Accommodation services, short-term accommodation services, not a forward charge, and also not a reverse charge. Reason, to whom they provided? To their personals. Means what? To their individuals. Who are they? Unregistered persons. Resultantly, it is covered under the exempted supply of services under the entry number 6/2017 of the central tax. Is a way in which clarification given by the CBSE in this particular circular. This one. Further, my dear friends, and one more circular recent past. With regard to exemption applicability and non-applicability, which is applicable. This is a circular for our exam of May 24 onwards applicable, because the latest one issued on 31st October 2023. Whether District Mineral Foundation Trust DMFTs set up by the state government or governmental authorities and thus eligible for the same exemption from GST as available to any other governmental authority. As long as government authority, why not? Here, services provided like water supply to government authority, sanitation concerns to government authority, some implement services, development services to government authority. Just now we refer no from 20th October 2023 onwards, supply to governmental authority qualify from exemption, or any services provided to governmental authority which is covered in Article 243G or Article 243W of the Constitution of India also qualify from exemption. In the given case, yes, it is government, as long as government authority services provided to them covering under Article 243G, Article 243W is applicable for them also, which is as follows. Referring the circular, District Mineral Foundation Trust DMFTs work for the interest and benefit of persons and areas affected by mining related operations by regulating receipt and expenditure from the respective mineral development funds created in the concerned district. They provide services related to drinking water supply, environmental protection, healthcare facilities, education, welfare of women, children, supply of medical equipment, etc. These activities are similar to activities that are interested in 11th schedule and 12th schedule of the Constitution of India, namely Article 243G or Article 243W of the Constitution of India. The ultimate users of the various schemes of the DMF are individuals, families, women and children, farmers, producers, groups, HSS of the mining affected areas, etc. The services or supplies out of DMF fund are provided free of charge and no consideration is realized from the beneficiaries by DMF against such services. Accordingly, it is clarified that DMF is set up by the state government or government authorities and thus eligible for the same exemption from the GST available to any other governmental authority. So as long as government authority, so long you will get the benefit of whatever available to government authorities is applicable. One of the example for government authority is this: District Mineral Foundation Trust set up by the state governments. Further, my dear friends, one more circular recent past on 31st October 23, which is as a one we called as a form part of the amendments applicable for our coming exam of May 2023, May 2024 onwards. This particular latest circular issued on 31st October 2023. What is it is? Whether supply of pure service and composite supplies by way of horticulture works where the value of goods constitute not more than 25% of the total value of supply made to Central Public Works Department CPWD are eligible for exemption from the GST in the serial number 3 or 3A. Why not? Well, eligible. As per the CBSE circular, maintenance of community asset or urban forestry, protection of the environment and promotion of ecological aspects are the functions entrusted to panchayat and municipalities under Article 243G or Article 240W of the Constitution of India. As a result, these supplies will qualify from exemption. Serial number 3A, it falls. Exempt pure services and composite supply where the metal involved less than or equal to 25% of the total value of the contract, which also will qualify from exemption if that is are provided to central government, state government or unitary or local authority by way of activities in relation to functions interested to Article 243G or Article 240W of the Constitution. Accordingly, as a result, it is clarified that pure services and composite supply of services by way of horticulture works where the value of the goods constitute not more than 25% of the total value of supply made to CPWD are eligible for exemption under the GST. So much of explanation is given and final answer is exempted. Straight away I can say that as long as Central Public Works Department is providing the services provided to central government, state government, which is one of the department here is Central Public Works Department. If so, the nature of supply belongs to Article 243G or Article 25W. Absolutely qualify from exemption. With this, I can say that, my dear friends, the all latest circulars with regard to government sector is concluded. Now I am going to go with sports sector. Exemptions for sports sector under GST. Here, if you refer, my dear friends, this 9A, 9AA, 9AB are almost all the old exemptions. It is event based exemption. You know FIFA, Federation International the Football Association for men or women under 17 hosted in India. Admission to that particular event or otherwise organizing of that event in India, if FIFA organization provide the services in relation to FIFA, or you provide the services to FIFA, because I am holding hotel, short-term accommodation, I accommodated to the players of FIFA in India. In that case, my services absolutely exempted. FIFA under 17 men or women, or otherwise here Asian Football Confederation AFC, its subsidiaries provide directly, indirectly any services, or you provide services to them to have this particular Asian Football Confederation, namely the Asian Football Confederation Women Asia Cup 2022 hosted in India. Admission fees to that events or any services to that event, or they provide any service directly, indirectly to any person in India in relation to the particular football international play purpose, qualify from exemption provided the director, here important point, the director sports, Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports should certify that yes, the following expenditure incurred by hotel accommodation in relation to FIFA providing accommodation to the players and charge the fees is a facility provided to FIFA, or FIFA provides the services to any person directly, indirectly in the given case. Absolutely qualify for exemption. FIFA providing service means what? Admission fees to FIFA play match is taking place. We are buying the tickets. So provide service by FIFA directly or indirectly. Any services by FIFA or Asian Football Federation qualify exemption, but that exemption qualify, the expenditure qualify for exemption only when the director sports, youth affairs and sports ministry should certify yes, this expenditure is for the FIFA under 17 men or women, or it is the Asia Football Confederation Women's Asia Cup expenditure only, it is in relation to that, then exempted. Further, my dear friends, which is not much important, 9A, 9AA, 9AB, exam point of view. But what is important here is this one, very important, my dear. What is it is? Services supplied to recognized sports body by one individual as a player, two referee, 3 umpire, 4 coach, 5 team manager. If these guys, being individuals, provide the services to recognize sports body absolutely free from GST, or otherwise one recognized sports body provide these services to another recognized sports body also be exempted. Then what is the recognized sports body here you are talking? Recognized sports body means are as follows: Indian Olympic Association, Sports Authority of India, a national sports federation recognized by the Ministry of Sports and Youth Affairs of the central government and its affiliated federations. National Sports Promotion Organization recognized by the Ministry of Sports and Youth Affairs of the central government. The Indian Olympic Association or a federation recognized by the International Olympic Association. A federation or a body which regulates sports at international level and its affiliated federations or bodies regulating sports in India, we called as a sports body. Now coming to the point here. Sir, what about BCCI? Is a sports body? Yes. How can you say a federation or a body which regulates sports at international level? International level. See, ICC, International Cricket Council, regulating the sports of cricket at international level, is an international body. To that ICC, BCC is affiliated. They said, and its affiliated federations or bodies regulating sports in India. Yes, BCCI regulating the sports of cricket in India. Resultantly, I can simplify manner to say that BCCI recognized sports body in the given case, where Virat Kohli is being an individual player, provide the services to BCCI by playing cricket in T20 or in Test series or World Cup, as the case may be. Recipient of service BCCI, which is recognized sports body, supplied by player, being an individual. Virat Kohli, if received 2 crores, absolutely exempted. Only 5 categories are exempted, one by one here. Individual as a player, individual as a referee, individual as an umpire, not a third umpire. Third umpire, not individual. You are aware of that? Third umpire, a particular exotic LBW or not, difficult to see when the event taken place. It should be again a review in the what we can call system, slow motion. Third umpire. Now the point here is third umpire concept not mentioned here, exempt or not. If I am the tax consultant, definitely I will say that third umpire also covered. Third umpire also umpire only. Third umpire individual only, taking the help of system software deciding. System software won't decide out. It again goes to the individual sitting and watching slow motion. Is LBW only, right? Sound is there. Touch the knee. Almost all touched. Okay, we will decide it out. Then he will decide out. Third umpire. So I will interpret. Umpire includes third umpire, qualify exemption, if they provide these services to the recognized sports body, being an individual. Like that, coach. Absolutely. A coach. Team manager. Team manager. As individual. Qualify exemption. What about commentator who given the commentary? Sunil Gavaskar, excellent commentary for a particular T20 match, and he charged 5 lakh rupees from BCCI. Taxable or exempted? Quickly speak out, my dear semi-qualifieds. Taxable, excellent, taxable. Now, listen to me. How many of them are going to answer this, my particular practical thing? Nah, no physiotherapist. Is team manager. Then physiotherapist, the cricket mat maintenance person, garden, that play garden, the particular playground maintenance person. Only the following 5. What are they? Individual as a player, umpire, referee, team manager, or coach. These fellows only. Very clearly said no. Team manager, coach, umpire, referee, individual as a player. Only will qualify this exemption. Now I am bringing something interestingly as a food for thought. You will answer, hopefully. I am expecting the right answer. Carefully listen. BCCI conducting Indian Premier League IPL, where individual players participated. MS Dhoni is playing in IPL match. He received the consideration 5 crores. I am Mr. Rafi, umpire. I am an umpire in IPL match. I provide my services as an umpire. I received 2 lakh rupees. MS Dhoni received 5 crores of consideration in IPL match, and Mr. Umpire Rafi received 2 lakh rupees for his umpiring. This IPL match is conducted by BCCI. Now, MS Dhoni, 5 crores, taxable or exempted? Excellent. Hats off to the answer. Taxable. Why taxable? Individual as a player, no? Excellent. What a great. MS Dhoni not provide services to BCCI. There are franchises sitting there. Chennai Super Kings selected the MS Dhoni by giving 5 crores to play on their behalf. So, supplier of service, individual as a player, recipient of service, Chennai Super Kings, which is not a regular sports body. Therefore, taxable in the hands of the MS Dhoni, being a supplier. Coming to umpire, Mr. Rafi, who is an umpire, received 2 lakh rupees consideration. Taxable or exempted? IPL match. I want answer. Taxable or exempted? Then, exempt? Are you sure? Why exempt? How? Excellent. Hats off the answer. That's it. That's it. Sir, I said BCCI is conducting the IPL, where umpires are appointed by BCCI. Players are selected by the franchises. If players selecting by franchises, umpires also select by the franchises, then that match not required to conduct. BCS is conducting the IPL match by appointing the umpire. If so, such umpire provide the services to BCCI even for IPL match, which is maybe not recognized events, but umpire provide the services to recognized sports body for unrecognized match. So what? As long as you being a player, individual as a player, or you are an umpire, coach, team manager, referee, if you provide the services to BCCI in the given recognized sports body, absolutely qualify from exemption. Followed by one recognized sports body provide the service to other recognized sports body. For example, Hockey Federation of India, which is recognized sports body, provide the services to Football Federation of India, or vice versa. They are both recognized sports bodies. If it is so, one recognized sports body provide the service to other recognized sports body, whatever may be the service in relation to sports, absolutely qualify from exemption. With this, I can simplify manner to say that the sports sector is concluded. I am going to take up now the entertainment sector for our discussion. Referring to you now, my dear friends, entertainment sector, services by way of right to admission to is taxable supply if not qualify from exemption. When we talk about exempted supplies of entertainment nature, where admission fees with some value cap only qualify exemption. What are they? Admission to circus, admission to dance, admission to theatrical performance including drama and ballet, admission to award function, admission to concert, admission to pageant, admission to musical performance or any sporting event other than recognized sporting event, or admission to recognized sporting event, admission to planetarium. Exemption is available if the value per ticket less than or equal to rupees 500. What are they? Are as follows, which are none other than as follows. Look here, my dear. Admission to circus, exempted. Ticket should be 500 or less. Admission to dance, exempted if the value per ticket less than or equal to 500. See here, the theatrical performance, which includes drama and ballet. Drama and ballet means Western dance. Admission to music performance or admission to award function. Admission to concert is a concert, which means a music performance given in public, typically by several performers or of several compositions. Pageant, called beauty competition. Admission to watch this particular beauty competition, namely we called as pageant. Admission to music performance, where the admission fee is less than or equal to rupees 500 value, qualify from exemption. Admission to recognized sporting event, where sitting in the gallery, we are buying the tickets, the value less than or equal to 500, the supply of that particular services qualify from exemption. Further, admission to other than recognized sporting body, other than recognized sporting event, also be exempted, value less than or equal to rupees 500. Admission to planetarium, qualify from exemption if the amount is less than or equal to 500 rupees. Now tell me this case. Admission to IPL 485 rupees and entertainment tax 25 rupees. Whether it is activity exempt from GST? What is the value of supply?
25 plus 25.
How can you add 25?
All taxes under the GST should be.
Excellent. Hats off to that answer. That one. Likewise, as a chartered accountant, if you're going to sell and tell to the industry salute you. Industry badly need your expert knowledge, my dear friends. GST law is so confusion. Everyday amendment except Saturday and Sunday. Anyhow, perfect answer. Value should include all tax and duties except GST taxes. That perfect point. In the given case, more than 500. Enter value letter GST. Enter value. Not word above 500. Enter value letter GST. Taxable. Good. Now, if there is a case, answer to this given query. Admission to fashion show where value per ticket just rupees 400. That's all. Nothing else charging. Admission to fashion show, taxable or exempted. Admission fees 400. సోలంబు పాక చెప్పండి చూద్దాం. Hello bro, my answer is taxable or exempted. That's it. First answer, exempt. Why exempted? Theoretical performance what? Only two. What are they? That's it. Theoretical performance which includes drama, ballet. Ballet means western and dancing on finger foot. Western dance are shown. Drama. Drama, you are aware of that on stage. Fashion show is drama. Fashion show is a ballet. You cannot interpret and say that fashion show is an event. Fashion show is an event which cannot be bring here and say it is included in the theoretical performance. Theoretical performance which includes drama and ballet only. Includes, they said, clarification given there. You cannot extend to this. Therefore, irrespective of the admission fees, after the GST, it is not a ballet, it is not a fashion, a beauty competition, it is not a pageant. These persons who are sitting in the gallery who purchase the tickets, even if it's 400 per ticket, is taxable admission to this. That is very clear. When you can able to justify your thing means, I will tell you, you qualified as a CA. Your client wanted to have this as a exempted surprise, sir, 400 rupees, sir, admission to fashion show, sir, therefore qualify for an exemption, no, sir. It is theoretical performance includes drama and ballet. Drama includes ballet, includes such a type of nature like this. If you want to establish, you have to search whether there is any case laws like this earlier, nationally or internationally. There is any judiciary pronouncements in this regard by which you have experience, knowledge and all, and you have to, otherwise you have to interpret by bringing the dictionary meanings, Oxford dictionary, that dictionary, this dictionary meanings, and elaborately have to present to justify, not to department, to justify a claim in the judiciary when the matter went to appeal. There, if the judiciary convenes with you, for the exam point of view, for the practice point of view, as such in normal course of business, absolute letter GST. You use the word powerful point. Sir, theoretical performance include only na, which includes drama and ballets. And why not fashion show? you have to establish with the supporting document of judiciary pronouncements, if any, or dictionary meanings, if any, which need a subject matter of expertise. That is what you have to support your client to justify the stand of the client, which is, in my opinion, if I am a consultant, is a remote difficult to establish. Therefore, please come back. However, if admission to music, namely to say admission to music, there is a cap, 500 rupees per ticket. For admission to museum, there is no cap. The following list of exempted supplies, which is exempted from payment of GST admission fees irrespective of the fees. Admission to museum, admission to national park, admission to wildlife sanctuary, admission to tiger reserve, admission to zoo, protected monument, admission to FIFA under 17 men or under 17 women, or the Football Federation, Asian Football Federation Confederation, Asian Football Confederation, Women's Asia Cup admission to these events, irrespective of the value, is exempted. Further referring, my dear friends, furthermore point here, under the entertainment sector, artist exempted from the GST where services by an artist by way of performance in folk or classical art form of dance, music, theatre, if the consideration charged for such performance is not more than 1,50,000 per performance, is the meaning. Sir, if you refer here, Kathakali, our Indian, Southern Indian symbol of state of Kerala, an excellent performance. More talent is required to perform Kathakali. Our Indian dance, Bharatanatyam, classical music. If such type of performing artists perform the artist where they perform the artist in a particular auditorium, where the performing artist charging the consideration per performance less than equal to 1,50,000, exempted. Sir, a performance, two or more artists participated in a given performance. In a given performance, two or more artists, one is classical music, other one is Kathakali, other one is Bharatanatyam. Three of them are participating, each one 15 minutes. Is a performance, one performance. Is a one performance where value per performance, not per individual, for the performance of less than equal to rupees 1,50,000 for the performance, exempted. Suppose one Bharatanatyam artist, also a disco dancer, partly he performed disco dance, partly he performed Bharatanatyam, and the value charged just rupees 1 lakh, less than 1,50,000. Taxable or exempted. This question addressed in the following manner: partly disco dance, partly Bharatanatyam, same performing artist in one performance, is mixed supply. In that case, Bharatanatyam, nil rate of GST, disco dance performing under the GST. Therefore, mixed supply, highest rate of GST will apply on the entire supply. So, in the given case, 1 lakh rupee charged, fully attract GST. Further, my dear friends, services by way of training or coaching in recreational activities relating to arts or culture by an individual, which is inserted from 18th July 2022, by an individual only provide the services. What type of services? Recreational nature services relating to what? Arts or culture. Arts or culture, which includes coaching training in relation to all form of dance, all form of music, all form type of paintings, sculpture making, sculpture making the statue, taking the rock and shaping it like a Lord Sri Ram. So like that, sculpture making training offered is called as arts or culture. Further, theatre and sports all together comes under the category of arts or culture. Theatre and sports, a training institute, cinema film training institute run by Mr. Rafi individual training institute, where providing services. What type of services? Basically, recreational nature. What do you mean by recreational nature? There are so many conditions. Recreational nature service related to arts and culture supplied by individual. 3 conditions should be satisfied. Then only exempted. Sir, best example for recreational nature. In my house, my son and daughters, both of them used to fight with each other very often. Son throwing the cricket ball to daughter. She's run away from that place. And one day, what happened? Fine day, what happened? When my son thrown the cricket ball on her, it straight away hit my 72 inches color television, broken like piece by piece screen. I cannot able to scold her. Hi, my dear, I'm in class. Can I call you after some time? Welcome. Now listen, my dear. My son thrown the ball, hit 72 inches color television, broken piece by piece. I cannot scold them. If I scold, means my wife going to scold me. What I can, how to avoid the type of a disturbance in the house? Summer camp is coming, holidays for the school. Too difficult to tolerate them. I came to know that nearby house, one Mr. Jim Chong, 47-year-old individual, providing dance services to various couple of children. I approach him, sir, could you able to provide the dance to my 2 children? Yes, why not? Per month, per children, 10,000 rupees. Okay, sir. What is the timing here? 6 to 7, 1 hour. Sir, please entertain my daughter and son. 6 to 9 in your place only, evening. He said, no problem. You pay just rupees 25,000 rupees together, I will take care per month. So I paid the fees, I admitted there. Simple dancing. What type of dance? Some dance. What purpose? To pass the time. To avoid the noise in the house, I admitted over there. Not to accomplish a particular task. Going to participate in the dance tournament to win, for which we go over training. Not so. For pastime, fun, joy is called as recreational activity. Who provided? Mr. Individual. If so, which is qualify exemption in the hands of individual, is a arts and culture. Further, services of training or coaching in sports by charitable entities registered under section 12A, 12AB of the Income Tax Act. This point I referred under the charitable sector. Again, I am repeating here. Training and coaching in the sports by charitable entities registered under section 12A or 12AB of the Income Tax Act qualify from exemption. Recreational activities in relation to arts or culture by an individual qualify from exemption. Further, sponsorship services. Sponsorship services also be exempted if the sponsorship services offered where services are in relation to like this: by way of sponsorship of sporting events organized by National Sports Federation of or its affiliate federations, where the participating teams or individual represent any district, state, zone or country. Similarly, services by way of sponsorship of sporting events organized by Association of Indian University, Inter-University Sports Board, School Game Federation of India, All India Sports Council for the Deaf, Paramic Committee of India, or Special Olympic Bharat by the Central Civil Services Culture and Sports Board, as a part of National Games by the Indian Olympic Association, or under Panchayat Yuva Krida Aur Khel Abhiyan scheme. For this purpose sponsored, for example, Lalita Jewelry want to give the advertisement amount, they want to sponsor the money for a particular Central Civil Services Culture and Sports Board. They are going to conduct the Special Olympic Bharat tournament conducting where Lalita Jewelry sponsor the amount. Who is supplier of service? The Central Civil Services Culture Sports Board, supplier of sponsorship services. To whom? Lalita Jewelry. Absolutely exempted from payment of GST. Because sponsorship of sporting events of these natures, suppliers of these services receive the money from the corporate companies as a sponsorship amount. Supplier is these organizations exempted from the payment of GST. But very clear, if Lalita Jewelry sponsor the amount of 5 crores for a particular IPL match which is conducting by BCCI, recipient of supply of sponsorship Lalita Jewelry, because they are paying the amount. Supplier of sponsorship by BCCI. BCCI, not a recognized one under this category. Here there is no BCCI. There is no International Sports Federation. Be careful. In the given case, BCCI provide the sponsorship services to Lalita Jewelry for IPL, where it attracts the GST. Who liable to pay GST? Is a reverse charge. Reverse charge. Sponsorship services is provided to a body corporate or a LLP or a partnership firm which are incorporated in India under the RCM. Lalita Jewelry under RCM liable to pay GST. Now please come back, my dear friends. A case like this, question asked in the examination circular in the recent past. Dr. Ali is a very good comedian in Telugu industry, film industry. One particular actress, excellent, eminent actress. Now they are participating in the TV shows. Mr. Dr. Ali is an anchor, anchoring a show in a television, for which he will charge the fees. Actors coming into the show, where the actress also charging the fees because she's coming all the way from his place to the place of the studio, participating, sharing, and entertaining the public at large. In the given case, anchor as well as the guest into the TV show, if they're charging the charges from the particular hosting of TV shows, absolutely attract the GST, provided they are the individuals, their aggregate turnover should be more than the threshold limit for registration, and if they have the registration, the supply of their services as a guest anchor or guest in a particular TV show are liable to pay GST. With this, I can say that, my dear friends, the entertainment sector is concluded. Now bringing to a notice, transportation of passenger sector, liability to pay GST if not qualify for exemption. What are the supply of services which qualify from exemption is the point which now I am presenting, my dear. Transportation of passenger sector, where transportation of passengers services offered by air travel operator only in economic class, terminating or embarking from Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, Manipur, Meghalaya, Mizoram, Nagaland, Sikkim, Tripura, Bagdora of West Bengal only by air. That too, it should be economic class, only qualify from exemption. What are the places embarking, disembarking? It should be Arunachal Pradesh, embark or disembark. Assam, Manipur, Mizoram, Meghalaya, Nagaland, Sikkim, Tripura, further Bagdogra located in West Bengal, only exempted. Embarking from Chennai airport, disembarking Bagdogra located in West Bengal, disembarking is there sufficient. That airfare exempted from payment of GST. Now from 18 July 2022 onwards, it should be in economic class, then only exempted. Business class taxable. Even though embarking or disembarking from this particular Manipur, Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, Meghalaya, Nagaland, Sikkim, Tripura, Bagdogra, these locations, business class or first class, other than economic class, taxable. Further, my dear friends, a scheme of regional connectivity scheme. What do you mean by regional connectivity? Is a dream of a Prime Minister of India. उड़े देश का आम नागरिक, उड़े देश का आम नागरिक, उड़ान. What do you mean this? A common man also can fly. How a common man will fly? What is the air travel ticket fare? 10,000. salary of a common man itself rupees 8,000 per month salary. How he can fly? That too, where he wanted to fly, from his workplace Chennai to his hometown, for example Rameswaram. Where is the airport in the Rameswaram to fly? Government of India taken the initiation under the Udan scheme, constructing aerodromes across the India in the various locations to have air travel connectivity. Having the air travel connectivity and asking the air travel operator, hey, air travel operators, you provide the air travel ticket instead of 10,000 per ticket to travel from one place to another place, charge rupees 2,000. Air travel operator says, how it is possible, sir? 8 rupees last week cannot able to operate. Government said, don't worry. Government of India established a viable gap fund. From that fund, whatever may be the difference amount will be funding to you. That means generally air travel ticket 10,000 for a particular trip, for a particular travel 10,000. You sell to the customer passenger at rupees 2,000. If you operating to that regional connectivity airport where the government has been recently constructing aerodrome, namely airport. If you able to operate to that particular small airports, sell at rupees 2,000 to the passenger, more passenger will come to your place, then the difference amount of 8,000, government is going to be fund you from the viable gap fund. Airport operators are operating a regional connectivity airport. Air travel operators flying from Chennai to such a regional connectivity airports to Ladakh, Kargil there is a airport now in the Kargil. So from Chennai to Kargil, fare travel ticket, for example, air travel ticket 10,000, selling to the passenger rupees 2,000. 8,000 rupees will be paid by the government to the air travel operator. Air travel operator asked, how long you will pay like this, sir, to us? Government said, for a period of 3 years from the date of commencement of the operations of the regional connectivity airport. Kargil airport now commenced for a period of 3 years from the date of commencing the operations of the Kargil airport. For a period of 3 years, the fund will be provided, the amount will be provided from the viable gap fund to the air travel operators. That fund, from that fund, amount paid to air travel operators is qualified from exemption. That means air travel operator, SpiceJet, operating flight from Chennai to Kargil airport, which is regional connectivity airport. Ticket value 10,000. Collecting from government viable gap fund rupees 8,000. From the passenger 2,000. This 2,000 rupees charge to the passenger will attract the GST. The amount collected from the viable gap fund rupees 8,000 exempted. How long government will fund to the air travel operators? For a period of 3 years from the date of commencement of the airport operations of the regional connectivity airport. From the date of commencement of the air travel operations by the regional connectivity airport. For a period of 3 years, this fund will be provided. That is qualified from exemption. Further, transportation of passengers by road in a contract carriage or in a stage carriage. Contract carriage is this: point to point travel. What do you mean by point to point travel? This contract carriage, basically non-air conditioned carriage. See, non-air conditioned, all windows are opened, is a contract carriage. From Chennai to Bangalore, from Bangalore to Cochin to Bangalore to Chennai is a route. If you enter into that particular bus, the ticket will be charged up to Bangalore. Otherwise, get down. In between, there are so many stations, we won't have any stop, we won't have any price for that. Even you get down in between, but you have to pay up to the Bangalore, that particular travel fare. Such a type of vehicles providing transportation of passengers called contract carriages. Such a contract carriage basically a non-air conditioned contract. Non-air conditioned qualify from exemption. Or it may be a particular stage carriage, city buses. All are windows open, you see, windows are open, city bus. In that given case, point here, the distance which you travel only have to pay. For example, a city bus traveling from commencing its operation from Adyar depot to Ainavaram depot, in between so many stations, means bus stops, to the extent of bus stop from Adyar to Nunambakam, that much only you have to pay the ticket fare because it has a stop in Nunambakam. Such as simple to say city buses, stage carriages, which is non-air conditioned stage carriages, absolutely qualified. What is commonality? It may be contract carriage, it may be stage carriage, non-air conditioned one. Then providing services, absolutely exempted from the payment of the GST. Transportation of passengers in non-air conditioned contract carriage or stage carriage. However, this exemption is not applicable if the passenger transportation services operator operating stage carriages as well as contract carriages, it may be non-air conditioned contract carriages, offer their services through e-commerce operator. Then, hey Mr. Transporter of passenger of this particular transportation of passenger service operator, since you providing services, booking the tickets, seats through e-commerce operator, exemption withdrawn, exemption not allowed. See here, from 1st January 2022 onwards, the exemption of services for transport of passengers with or without accompanying belongings by non-air conditioned contract carriage other than the radio taxi for transportation of passengers excluding tourism, conducted tour, charter or hire, or stage carriage other than air conditioned stage carriage shall not be available if such services are supplied through an electronic commerce operator and are notified under subsection 5 of section 9 of the CGST, meaning thereby what? These are liable to pay GST by e-commerce operator. Exemption not available. Stage carriage, contract carriage, non-air conditioned, exemption not available if such services are supplied through an electronic commerce operator and are notified under section 9 section 5 of the CGST, where e-commerce operator only liable to pay GST as if they are the supplier of the transportation of passengers. Very important point. Here there was an amendment, there is an amendment, sorry to say, there is an amendment recently. If is a omnibus operator providing omnibus services for transportation of passengers through e-commerce operator. Supplier is a corporate company, a body corporate. Then body corporate only liable to pay GST. It won't come under the section 9(5). E-commerce operator not liable to pay GST as a transportation of passengers. Is an amendment already we come across. One can expect in the examination. From May 2024 is amended version. Omnibus. I told you or not? Can you recollect or not? Omnibus supplier of service of transportation of passengers, if is supplied through e-commerce operator, such a supplier is a company, namely PVT Ltd, registered in the register of companies. Then the company being a supplier will be able to pay GST. omnibus. Suppose omnibus services offer transportation of passengers by whom? By a private limited, by a LLP, limited liability partnership firm, or a partnership firm, a sole proprietor operating omnibus services for transportation of passengers through e-commerce operator. In that case, e-commerce operator only liable to pay GST as referred under section 9(5), but not the sole proprietor, not the LLP, not the partnership firm, since they are not the company. If the supplier of omnibus is a company, body, corporate, supplied through e-commerce operator, who liable to pay GST on omnibus? Omnibus generally air conditioned equipped. Who liable to pay GST? Supplier liable to pay GST, namely company liable to pay GST. What for it is given like that amended provision? Because company incorporated in the Companies Act providing omnibus services has huge amount of input tax credit. If it is going to pay by the e-commerce operator, the credit become a cost for them, is a burden for them. They want to claim ITC. Therefore, the industry pro amended provision, it is applicable for our May 2024 exam onwards. Omnibus services offered by a company through e-commerce operator liable to pay GST is by e-commerce is by the omnibus supplier, namely being a company liable to pay GST forward charge. As a forward charge, he can eligible to claim input tax credit. Now please come back. Here some clarifications are there, my dear. Here, whether hiring of vehicle by firms for transportation of their employees to and from work is exempt, covered under the entry number 15, point number B of the notification number 12/2017 as a transportation of passengers by non-air conditioned contract carriage. What do you mean this? Simple to say that, my dear, corporate company hiring passenger vehicle, TCS Limited, taken on hire basis a particular transportation of passenger vehicle non-air conditioned from Parvin Travels. Parvin Travels given on hire basis there a particular bus, contract carriage bus given hire basis, non-air conditioned one. The TCS Limited using that vehicle for their employees pick-up and drop services. Is it transportation of passenger services? Qualify from exemption as if transportation of passenger services offered by transportation of passenger services wala in a non-air conditioned contract carriage, which is qualified exemption in the hands of transportation of passengers, supplier of service. TCS wala taken hire basis, providing what type of service to employees? Pick up and drop services. Is it transportation of passenger services? Absolutely not. Reason, transportation of passenger services means what? Transporter will decide time to departure, time to reach. It is up to the transporter operator to provide the services. The recipient passenger has no control, whereas hiring of the same motor vehicle meant for transportation of passengers, non-contract carriage, non-air conditioned contract carriage given hire basis, then the Parvin Travel is a recipient. TCS wala paying the amount and the amount received by the Parvin Travels. Now, supplier of service of hiring of motor vehicle by
Parvin Travels. Recipient of that services is by the TCS Limited. TCS Limited, whether it is used for pickup and drop, not used for pickup and drop, the amount, fixed amount should be paid to the Parvin Travels. Full control on the vehicle by the TCS. In that case, it is not transportation of passengers, it is a hiring of motor vehicle. As a result, the hiring charges charged by Parvin Travels from TCS Wala will attack the GST. It is not the transportation of passenger services if they given a higher basis. Clarification given by CBSE. When it is a transportation of passengers means Parvin Travels operating contract carriage, non-air conditioned contract carriage from Chennai to Bangalore, Bangalore to Chennai. In that case, Infosys company Bangalore book the tickets for their employees. Entire bus they book tickets, entire tickets booked by the Infosys company. And Parvin Travels, as usual, transport for passenger services, they started morning 7 o'clock. For that particular journey, Infosys company booked the tickets. Passengers, none other than the employees of the Infosys company, and boarded into the vehicle. And it came to Chennai, and all of them are departed at Chennai. I mean, disembarked at Chennai. In that case, Parvin Travels not provide hiring of vehicle services. Parvin Travel provide the transport of passenger services in a contract carriage, non-air conditioned. Therefore, that particular fees charged by the Parvin Travels is exempted. If the Infosys company taken hire basis that vehicle and return with them, and as per the convenient time of the Infosys company employees, that vehicle moving from Bangalore Infosys to Chennai Infosys and paying the hiring charges. Some of the days it won't be travel at all. It return in the premises of the Infosys company. In that case, whether used or not, you have to pay the charges. That is called as hiring charges, which is not transport of passengers. Hiring charges attract the GST. Transport of passenger services in a contract carriage, non-air conditioned, qualify from exemption. So these two are two different category of services. Clarification given by the CBSE in the given circular. Transportation of passengers service offered by Indian Railways. In the ordinary coach, windows are all are opened. It is not a first class or AC coach. If the first class or AC, who liable to pay GST? Indian Railways liable to GST. Not only that, Indian Railways offering their premises to the vendors to sell their goods or services by letting out the premises for commercial purposes. Rent charged by Indian Railways from tenant who is a unregistered person, who liable to pay GST? Indian Railways liable to pay GST. If the tenants who occupied Indian Railways premises to sell their goods or services are registered person, Indian Railways provider of services, who liable to pay GST? No exemption. Who liable to pay GST? Quickly. Indian Railways liable to pay GST because in amendment from 20th October 2023, which is applicable for May 2024 examination onwards, is a forward charge. Indian Postal Department, Indian Railways, forward charge. If not qualify exemption, is exempted. What is exempted? Indian Railways offer the transportation of passenger services in an ordinary coach, exempted. Further, my dear friends, transportation of passengers in a particular metro, which may be air conditioned, exempted. Transport of passengers in monorail may be well air conditioned, exempted. Transport of passengers tramway is a famous in the West Bengal, exempted from the payment of the GST. Further, transportation of passengers in metered cab. Metered cab is entirely different from the radio taxi. Metered cab is the cab which has the meter certified by the RTO, which has no two-way communication. It has no radio taxi. It has no two-way communication. GPS, GPRS system not there. Such a radio taxes are different. This is a metered cab. The cab which has meter certified by the register of road transport officer. Such metered cab services are free from GST. Auto rickshaw, which includes electric rickshaws, EV operated rickshaws, exempted from the payment of GST. However, this metered cab radio tax, metered cab rickshaw, auto rickshaws, which includes electric operating rickshaws, if they provide these services through e-commerce operator, attract the GST. In whose hands? E-commerce operator hands. Falls under section 9(5). If I have my own taxi, meter is there. I have my own auto, meter is there. I am operating with the diesel, with the petrol, or with EV, electric. So what? My supply exempted. If I am operating through e-commerce operator liable to pay GST as if the e-commerce operator is a provider of the auto rickshaw services or metered cab services. Transportation of passengers, inland waterways, namely national waterways. What do you mean inland waterways? Passing through a river without touching the ocean. Exempted. Public transport other than predominantly meant for tourism in a vessel from a place of port in India to a place of port within India, namely passing through ocean in a vessel. Transportation of passengers other than the tourism purpose also be exempted. Through a river, exempted. If there is a case, here there are ferries. These are the ferries transporting passengers through a river, but it is operating by private companies, private persons. Public transport does not mean that it should be owned by public sector undertaking. It can be owned by any person who offered transportation of passengers in a ferry passing through from a port in India to a port within India, from Cochin port to Chennai port. I am transporting the passengers. Public transport. Who am I? Private person. Exempted. Not that public transport means should be operated by government. Is a clarification given by the CBIC. Further, presently, ropeway transportation of passengers, cable car transportation of passengers, aerial tramway transportation of passengers, specifically not mentioned anywhere as exempted, therefore taxable. With this, I can say that, my dear friends, transportation of passengers services sector is concluded for your batch. Let us see you next class by tomorrow at 6 a.m. Thank you, my dear friends. Have a good day.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome. Thank you. Most welcome, my dear friends.